as you guys know, Amazon have announced this new all-improved Fire TV Cube. The previous Fire TV Cube came out in 2019, so we were due an upgrade. But even then, the fact that the Fire TV was a couple of years old, in terms of the fastest device, if you really want the most powerful Amazon device, the second generation Fire TV Cube was that device. That's not to say it was perfect. It had some issues, like it didn't have built-in Ethernet. It only had a micro USB port. There were also some issues with just the Wi-Fi performance. So it did have a couple of problems, but again, if you wanted the fastest Amazon device, there really was nothing better. So you can imagine just the great news. In fact, let me just move this chart out of the way. One sec, guys. Okay, so you can just imagine the amazing news, or just how happy I was when I heard about this all new third generation Fire TV Cube with its improved ports, with its Wi-Fi 6E, with its full-size USB. So I mean, from the initial announcement, it just looked really, really good. But unfortunately, after I think a couple of days, we found out some of the issues that we're potentially going to have with this new device. Things like, for example, even though it's got a built-in Ethernet port, a dedicated Ethernet port, as you guys know, before we had to use an adapter to get any kind of wired connectivity. This device, if I can scroll down here, we can see has that dedicated port, but unfortunately it's only 100 megs. So very disappointing that a device, which is going to be released in 2022, they would pack that with a 100 meg Ethernet. I mean, I'm surprised they even found, a chipset for that, because the device definitely supports gigabit, but for whatever reason, Amazon decided to bundle it only with 100 meg Ethernet. Then I thought maybe with the full size USB port. Oh, some more people joining in now. Let me just say hello to my moderator, Sharon. Nice to see you on here. Then I thought perhaps with the USB port, if it's going to be USB 3, then potentially we can get a USB 3 Ethernet adapter and then easily achieve gigabit speeds. But again, guys, unfortunately, this device this port is only USB 2. So it's just really bizarre that they bothered bundling this dedicated Ethernet port, this USB port, but then crippled it by making it USB 2 and only 100 megs. So I'm not sure what they were thinking. If maybe they think most people will use Wi-Fi only, and for the USB port, if most people are just going to expand the storage, they can very easily do that. And with USB 2 speeds, the speeds should be okay for you to install your applications, move your applications. All of that should be fine with that USB 2 port. I just think personally, if you are going to have a flagship device, I mean, if we look at NVIDIA, for example, their flagship device, the NVIDIA Shield Pro, they haven't really cut any corners. So gigabit Ethernet port, we have 2 full-size USB 3 ports, obviously amazing chipset, super fast GPU, and the works. Here on the Amazon side, if you are going to create your flagship device, then why cripple it with these limiting ports? So I did think that was a bit of a shame. Obviously, I will still purchase the device. I will be reviewing that device on my channel. So if you guys do want to see the comparison, see the benchmarks, how it compares with the 4K Firestick Max, or even the second generation Fire TV Cube, because it's supposed to be 20% faster. But as you guys know, with these benchmarks and these numbers, what I always care about is those real life tests. So starting applications, or doing real Wi-Fi or Ethernet tests. Let's exactly see how fast this new device is. And I mean, just talking about benchmarks, AFTV News did actually create this performance chart, and he was saying based on these stats, we can already see that the second generation Fire TV Cube was fairly close already to the NVIDIA Shield Pro. Now, if you add that 20% promise performance boost, then this will actually overtake the NVIDIA Shield. I mean, the NVIDIA Shield, obviously, it is a quite old device anyway, but the fact that this Amazon device with that promised 20% performance boost could actually be the most powerful device, obviously not for gaming, but for your streaming applications, for your general day-to-day usage, this single Amazon device could actually be or hail as the king of streaming devices. So very, very interested to see in real life tests how this new device performs. Chat, so let me know if you guys are planning on buying this cube, what you think about the cube, or are you happy with your other device?